I keep saying I'm running out of room, but here we are, once again, new pickups video. Right everyone, hope you are doing well. Thanks for pressing play once again. I'm the man they call Pixel Paul, and I'm running out of room again. No matter how many times I rearrange, no matter how many times I reconfigure stuff, I am just running out of room. But I am trying to do something about that. And what I tried to do is clear a few games out. And I have, and I've been to CEX to trade them in and got another voucher for them. The only problem is the games that I've traded out aren't really from here. They're all PlayStation 5 games. So I think the games that I actually traded in, I took a picture, so I'll put a picture of which ones I took to CEX. But yeah, they're all mainly PlayStation 5 games. So it's not really helped with decluttering this. And I really do need to do that. So I'm going to have to think about how best to do it. I think I might start with the Wii actually, and then maybe PlayStation 2. Anyway, that's for another day, maybe another video, we'll see. Like I said, I've got a CEX voucher in my pocket. Let's go out and see what we can get. So here we go, first stop, Bury Town Centre. Quick breakfast in Bob and Bert's like we do. Lovely grub. Cash generator, had a quick look in here. Found some bargains over the last few years in here, but was pretty much the same stuff as was in there last time I was in, sadly. Quite a few games that I sort of recognised from last time. Bullet Witch here, I think they had, was it about $34.99 on it? Still a very expensive game, this one. It's a bit more in CEX, but it is not worth the money. Next up, it's CEX in Bury, of course. Got my voucher in my pocket, ready to go. See what I could find in here. Not a huge amount 3DS wise. A couple of interesting Nintendo DS games though. Spotted Final Fantasy 3 there, £15 on that. And also this copy of Heroes of Mana, also £15. And then, having found Metroid Prime Hunters the other week, it was there again, but they also had Metroid Prime Pinball, £30 on that. Wouldn't mind that for the Prime collection, but £30 is just a little bit steep perhaps. Onto 360 section. Again, not loads here, not a lot that I haven't got. I haven't got this one though, Enemy Front, £8 on that one. And there was a couple of racing games which caught my eye, which I've not got. Full Auto, £6 on that. They had 2 copies of that. And also Flat Out, Ultimate Carnage. Only cheap that one, and I've had that before but didn't pick it up this time, but I wouldn't mind playing that again. Not much in the PSP or PS2 section, but PS4, I've got a copy of Valkyrie there. That's a game that you can't play at all now, so it's just a coaster. Surprised to see it in stock actually. I didn't think they'd be selling it really, but yeah, it was in there. Okami HD. I've got the PS2 version and the Wii version. Never played the HD version. Great game though. Spotted this lovely copy of Tomb Raider Definitive version. Really nice condition, that one. Back outside now, not a huge amount to shout about in the window here. They did have this quite sorry looking copy of Bomberman 2 though still, £50 on that, but some real horrible rippage on the front of that one. I did notice that CEX and Bury seem to be gearing up for a new store inside the shopping centre as well, so want to keep an eye out on. Don't know whether it'll be bigger or not though. Off to cash converters now. Again, they've not got a load of stock in here. They used to have a lot more than this, but it's slim pickings in here at the moment. But sometimes you find the odd bargain. Back to my local CEX now in Bolton. And this has been a bit better in here recently. There's been a little bit of sort of extra stock coming in. There's been some decent stuff in the glass cabinets as well in the last few weeks. Did spot this game, or it was the next game, Apache on the Xbox 360. It's not one I've got, it's a fiver. Didn't know whether to take a punt on that one. And then spotted this, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 Steelbook. £15 on it, didn't seem to have a slipcase, but really nice looking steelbook this one. Also spotted this nice gold edition of Watch Dogs on the PlayStation 4. Not much different to it I don't think, but it did have a nice shiny cover, just caught my attention. And then I spotted this PlayStation VR game, Persona. It looks like a sort of dance game type thing. 50 quid on it, nice set, a bit pricey though. And Assassin's Creed the movie on Blu-ray, steelbook, £6 on that. It's not a great film though, but nice steelbook that. So that was me out and about over the last week or so. Apologies for quite a lot of CEX Red Shop footage in there, but you know, that's what I had the voucher for, so that's where I went. But I did pick up a few things from other places as well, including Smith's Toys Superstores. So I picked up a couple of, I think, bargains actually from there. I'll get into the games in a minute, but the first thing I picked up from Smith's was this. I thought this was a bit of a bargain. £5 for a Pac-Man light. Clearance, £5. It was just sat there on the till and it kind of spoke to me, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to get that. They actually had the Mario one. You've probably seen the Mario Paladin lights as well, probably doing the rounds of other places, and that was a fiver as well. But I thought, no, I prefer the Pac-Man ones. They look a bit more funky and they're quite cool actually. You might have seen it on the last video. I've had it for a week or so, but they light up pretty well actually. But I do like the second one where it kind of has the ghosts following Pac-Man. So yeah, quite like that. Yeah, more clutter to go on the shelves and, you know, make less room for the actual games. I'm going to have a declutter. Just, yeah, something's got to change. Something's got to give. So yeah, £5 for that. I thought that was all right. They're normally about, what, £15, £20, something like that? I don't know. But £5 seemed like a bargain. And then talking of £5, so I also picked this one up as well. Now, they had this in their clearance section, which Smiths, you know, sort of do every now and then. I think they've actually just started like a bank holiday / half term price reduction on a few things. There's 1 or 2 decent big deals in there to be had, but when I was in there, this was the only thing that I picked up. So yeah, I'd seen this. I think they'd reduced it to about £10, and I think in general it's about £10 price on this at the moment. But they'd actually reduced it to £5, which I thought was all right. It was a game I was sort of interested in. I've never thought to pick it up, and I didn't really want to spend too much on it because I didn't know too much about it. I've just seen some people mention it and say it's okay. So I just thought, well, for that cheap price of £5, I'll pick it up. And the game is Unknown 9 Awakening on the Xbox, well, Series X and Xbox One. So yeah, £5 pay for that, which I didn't think is too bad. And it's a new copy as well, new and sealed. CEX give you £5 trade back on it, so seemed like you know, I thought I might as well just give that a go, see what it's like. So I probably will. I think it's a bit of a, don't know, I don't think it's like an RPG. I think it's a bit of a sort of hack and slash type game, single player. So it might actually be all right. I do quite like those kind of games, so yeah, I'll be giving that one a go, see what that's like. Next up, and the next 4 games, these were from Cash Converters and Cash Generator. And like I say, most of these ones are all kind of cheapy kind of ones. Nothing spectacular again, but I thought for the prices, they weren't too bad pickups actually. So for the PlayStation 5, I picked up Ghost Runner, and I paid £4.99 for that. I think it's more than that in CEX at the moment. I want to say maybe it's about £10 still, actually, Ghost Runner. I think I have played Ghost Runner a little bit on PS Plus. I think I gave it a quick go, but couldn't quite get to grips with it. So yeah, at a £5, I thought I might get that because, you know, physical copy of it. You know, I've just traded a load of games for the PlayStation 5 that I didn't want anymore and pick up another one. But there you go. So yeah, £5 for that, £4.99. See what that's like. Ghost Runner, cool looking cover. Do like that. It's from what I remember, it's a very sort of weird kind of parkour type ninja-y sort of almost cyberpunk setting kind of game. Bit sort of like first person platformer, where like timing is timing is massively important in it. Yeah, I'll probably try and give that a proper go. I know there's Ghost Runner 2 out as well at the moment, isn't there? So yeah, we'll see what that's like anyway. Nice condition. So that was from Cash Converters. Also from Cash Converters, continuing my Nintendo DS craze at the moment, I also picked up, what's it called? Rooms the Main Building, which I think is kind of like a slide puzzle type game. It's not one I would necessarily have picked up, probably, but 49p, couldn't say no really. I had to pick that up, even if it was just for a spare box. But it looks quite interesting actually. Sort of those kind of puzzle games, they work quite well usually on the Nintendo DS. And my Nintendo DS collection is growing. I think it was either last week or the week before, I did my run through of my Nintendo DS collection. So yeah, that's another one to add to it. 49p paid, and it's in absolutely immaculate condition. Barely looks like it's been used, to be honest. So it's only, I think, about £1.50 in CEX as well. So yeah, give that a go. And then also, because it was cheap, another Nintendo DS game, Animaniacs Lights Camera Action. And I paid £1.99 for that. £2 for a DS game. You can't say no, can you really? That one's not quite in as good condition. Box is a little bit battered, needs a little bit of a clean. Not quite sure what kind of game this is. The PS2 Animaniacs game has always intrigued me. I've always fancied playing it and giving it a go because I've never played it before. So I saw this and thought, yeah, I'll try this. But yeah, not quite sure what kind of game it is, to be honest. But yeah, we'll give it a go. For $1.99, I'm happy with that. And then the last game from, well, this one's from Cash Generator, which I think the footage was the first shop I went into. Cash Generator, this was the one in Bury. There wasn't a lot in there, to be fair. There hasn't been much new in there for a while. To be fair, we've not been to Bury for a few weeks, but yeah, it seemed to be more or less the same old stuff, really. Same sort of games, same PlayStation 1 games were there. That Resident Evil Steelbook was still there. But there was another Steelbook. Sorry, it's a Steelcase. It's not Steelbook, it's Steelcase, because I know somebody will correct me. Steelcase version. It's a limited edition version of this as well. Project Cars on the Xbox One. And yeah, this is a Steelcase limited edition version of it. I paid $4.99 for that, which is probably a little bit more than what the standard version goes for. I'm pretty sure the standard version is maybe £3 or £4 for Project Cars. But yeah, I thought in that condition, and the outer sleeve is in pretty decent nick, which is always the problem with these games. If you can find them with the sleeve intact and not cracked, it does need a bit of a clean up. That sticker needs to come off, but I think that will clean up pretty easily. But the actual steel case itself, and I've not been able to say my usual catchphrase, I do love a steelbook, I do love a steel case as well. It sort of works, doesn't it? So yeah, it's still it's in nice condition actually. And that back of that is quite cool. Various images of cars on it, and inside, really nice condition. There is a, what is this? It's not quite an art book, I don't think, but it's like I don't know, locations. I think it's like a making of type book, so it looks quite interesting. It's in nice condition, that. So yeah, I thought for $4.99 to get another steelbook, steel case into the collection. And I think I have played Project Cars before and it was okay. I'm pretty sure I've played this a little bit at some point. I don't know whether it was on Game Pass or something, but yeah, quite happy with that one. $4.99 paid for that. Right, onto the CEX stuff, and this is all off voucher as well. So I think I got about, was it £69, £70 for the trade-in, which was okay. I've still got plenty of that left as well after this lot. But yeah, there's one or two here. Well, there's probably three here which have been sort of like targets that I've had, and then one is a bit of a let's give it a go, and one was a bit of an impulse buy. First one is Nintendo Wii Ghostbusters. Now I have got this on the PlayStation 3, but I don't know, for £4 I just thought this is a type of game that sort of probably might translate quite well on the Wii, with the Wiimote, busting ghosts with that perhaps. But what did sort of catch my eye is the fact that the artwork is quite different to those other versions. So you can see there, the Ghostbusters look quite sort of cartoony, whereas, and I should have, let me grab the other one. So on there, they look sort of a bit more like proper, almost photorealistic, whereas there's cartoon versions of them in the Wii. So I don't know whether that means it's a completely different game. I'm suspecting it's not completely different, but maybe the graphical style of it might be slightly different. So yeah, I just thought £4. This was £6 a couple of weeks ago, and I probably wouldn't have thought to pick it up at £6, but for £4 I thought that's not bad, that is it. Nice condition as well. But yeah, the art style is just a little bit different, so let's see if there's much different between the two versions. Give it a go. So the first of 3 games that I've been after for a while. This game I used to have in my original collection, and it's been itching at me. I really wanted to re-pick this game up. It was kind of a bit of a hidden gem back in the day. I guess in a way it sort of still is. And it was released as like a budget title as well. So it was relatively cheap when it was brand new. Probably only a little bit more than what the price is now. And that game is Gunbird Special Edition on the PS2, and I paid £12 for that. So yeah, it was like a budget release. I think Explosive, I think they released budget games for the PS2, and it's essentially a bit of a top-down shooter, shoot 'em up, of which I've been picking quite a few of these up actually on PS2 recently. I don't know if you can see much from there. Gives you an idea anyway. But I remember back in the day it was really sort of highly rated. A lot of people, or a lot of places and magazines gave this a really good review, which was, again, sort of unusual for a game that was sort of released as a budget release, really. So yeah, I've been wanting to pick this up again for quite some time. That's the inside. Lovely blue instruction book cover there, and yeah, so I'm just really pleased to have finally picked this one up. £12, a bit pricey perhaps. Like I say, I don't think it was probably that much more expensive when it originally came out. So yeah, happy with that one. Gunbird, shoot 'em up, top-down shooter. And then this one again, this has been on my mind to pick this up for a while, and then after I did the my video of top 10 soundtracks, a lot of people picked this in their top 10 soundtracks because I asked everybody to comment and put their own top 10s, and a lot of people chose this one, and it sort of prompted me. I thought, right, next time I see this I'm going to try and grab it, and that game is Nier Automata, and this is the Game of the Year edition as well, so I paid £12 for that. I think it's been about £12 for a while now, to be honest. I think I may have seen it once at $9.99. I can't remember where, but I'm pretty sure I saw it for a tenner at one point, passed up on it, regretting that now. But yeah, for 12 quid on a voucher, happy to pick that one up. Not played any of these games. Not played Nier on the 360 as yet, not quite yet anyway. I did play it a little bit actually, just never finished it. But yeah, or have I played it? No, I'm thinking of something else. I haven't played it yet. So I haven't played any of these games yet. I think I played a little bit of this on, I think there was a demo for it, wasn't there, at one point? So I have played a little bit of this, but I don't really remember too much of it. Love the cover art on that. The Game of the Year edition cover art is slightly different to the standard edition, I think. So yeah, quite happy to pick that one up. Interested to see what that's like, because I know a lot of people really rave about this game and say it's really, really good. So yeah, looking forward to giving that one a go. Yeah, Automata. So this one was the impulse buy, and funnily enough, I actually saw it. I bought it and then saw it in another CEX, and I've not seen this one for ages. And it was only when I saw it, I sort of thought to myself, do you know what? I've not got the PlayStation 4 version of this, and I've played the PlayStation 3 version, I've played the Xbox 360 version of it, but I've never actually played the sort of definitive edition of this on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. So I saw it, and yeah, I mean the standard edition I think is actually, now I think about it, I think the standard edition on PlayStation 4 is probably the same price as this, but certainly PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 versions of it are cheaper. But hey ho, so I picked up Tomb Raider, the definitive edition on the PS4, £10 paid for that. But it is in very, very nice condition. So it's a cardboard sleeve, but yeah, very nice condition. A little bit of flappage there, maybe. Little bit. But yeah, in general, really nice condition, this. Lovely art book in there. Disc is in good condition too. But yeah, art book is really, really good. I was flicking through it before. Love this image there. There's going to be stuff falling out of it. But yeah, those two images there. Love those two bits of art there. So yeah, it's a nice little book, that, with the actual game disc inside it as well. So yeah, it was a bit of an impulse buy, but one I'm quite happy with. I've actually got the, is it like the cardboard sleeved cased version of Rise of the Tomb Raider as well. So that will go nicely with that, and I think I might try and play this again at some point, because like I said, I don't think I played the PS4 version of it, so I might try and go through that again. I don't know if there's a Shadow of the Tomb Raider special edition like this. I'm not sure, but if there is, it might be nice to try and get that one, so I've got the three in a nice little collection. Cheers everybody. Right, so the last game that I picked up, it was actually the last game that was in the footage that I showed before. It is coming up to, I think, about a year since I've had the Nintendo 2DS. And when I originally bought that, I sort of made a short list of games that I really wanted to pick up for it. And I got them all, actually quite quickly to be fair. But this one, for whatever reason, has eluded me. Ninja-like, it has just never been sort of available in the CEX stores around me. Never find it at car boot sales or, you know, anywhere else or anything like that. And I was kind of tracking it on the CEX app as well. And I think the nearest place to me that had it was in Southport, which is, it's a bit of a drive. It's not that far, but it's a bit of a drive, a bit of a trek. And yeah, you can never know, do you? You can go all that way and end up it being a cover reprint. And I don't know, part of me just suspects that it probably would have been that copy in Southport. Could be wrong. But, so yeah, I've been tracking this game and just saw it on the shelf at CEX and couldn't believe my luck. And I was sort of thinking, I don't remember seeing this on the app. There's no way this was on the app, because if it was, I would have been out straight away to go and get it. It's the last game on my 3DS, 2DS collection pickup list, and I finally got it. And that game is Shinobi. £10 paid for it, which is a bit of a kicker, because I know when I drew up this list originally back last year, it was about £6, so it has gone up. I think it might even have been £5 at one point. So it has gone up. Maybe that's because partly with the new Shinobi game coming out that Sega are releasing, so it's possible that the price has started to go up, and it might even go up a little bit more possibly. I don't know. I suppose it depends on how well that one does. I suspect it might do quite well because it does look pretty good. But yeah, Shinobi 2DS, really, well, I was going to say really looking forward to playing it, but I have actually given it a quick go and it is pretty good. Quite hard, but very old school Shinobi, 2D platformer, hack and slash type game. And yeah, it's pretty good actually. I'm quite impressed with this. I really enjoyed what I've played of it so far. And more than happy to have paid a tenner for that. I think it's a decent buy, that, and a decent game. So yeah, really happy to finally pick up Shinobi and end that quest for 3DS games. So those were the pickups this time around, and yeah, not loads, not a huge amount of games, but like I said at the start of the video, I am running out of room now. I am starting to struggle to fit games in. I've probably got a little bit of room left for 360, a little bit of room left for Xbox, a bit of room for Xbox One perhaps. I could probably fit maybe some more DS games and 3DS games there. But in general, PlayStation, I'm running out of room. I think I've got room for maybe 2 or 3 PSP games, about 5 PlayStation 1 games there's room for. But PS2, I am just adding a secondary sort of pile in front of this pile here. So I could add loads of PlayStation 2 games, but there's not that many more that I want PlayStation 2, to be fair. But I do probably need to thin out the PlayStation, you can just see it there as well, PlayStation 2 collection. PlayStation 3 I've just got no room for. I've now gone down here to store PlayStation 3 games as well, mainly the Red Spine PS3 and PlayStation 4. They're all in there, and I have cleared a few of those out actually. There was a couple in that stack that I took to CEX, so it's given me a room for 2, which I've just taken up with, well, 1 game, and they'll go with my special editions at the very top of the cupboard, top of the shelves there. So I am just struggling to get room, which is a nice problem to have. I am very privileged. I'm very lucky. I'm also very savvy. I don't just throw money. I am quite sort of careful with it. And like I say, half of those games, all from CEX, are all on voucher, and the others are cheap pickups that I've just managed to shop around and find. So it's a bit of both. But I need to have a really good clear out of this lot at some point. It's hard though. I hate letting go. I'm a hoarder, obviously. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know if you've played any of those games. Let me know if you've played Shinobi. Let me know if you're going to buy the new Shinobi game when that comes out. And yeah, Nier Automata. Let me know your thoughts on that. I know a lot of you really love this game, so yeah, if you've played it, let me know. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.